Job chapter 19. Then Job answered and said, How long will you vex my soul and break me in pieces with words? These 10 times have you reproached me. You are not ashamed that you make yourself strange to me. And be it indeed that I have erred, mine error remaineth with myself. If indeed you will magnify yourselves against me, and plead against me my reproach, know now that God hath overthrown me, and hath compassed me with his net. Behold, I cry out of wrong, but I am not heard. I cry aloud, but there is no judgment. He hath fenced up my way, that I cannot pass, and he hath set darkness in my paths. He hath stripped me of my glory, and taken the crown from my head. He hath destroyed me on every side, and I am gone. And mine hope hath he removed like a tree. He hath also kindled his wrath against me, and he counteth me unto him as one of his enemies. His troops come together and raise up their way against me, and encamp round about my tabernacle. He hath put my brethren far from me, and mine acquaintance are verily estranged from me. My kinsfolk have failed, and my familiar friends have forgotten me. They that dwell in mine house and my maids count me for a stranger. I am an alien in their sight. I called my servant, and he gave me no answer. I entreated him with my mouth. My breath is strange to my wife, though I entreated for the children's sake of mine own body. Yea, young children despised me. I arose, and they spake against me. All my inward friends abhorred me, and they whom I loved are turned against me. My bone cleaveth to my skin, and to my flesh, and I am escaped with the skin of my teeth. Have pity upon me, have pity upon me, O ye my friends, for the hand of God hath touched me. Why do you persecute me as God, and are not satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were now written. Oh, that they were printed in a book. And they have been. That they were graven with an iron pen, and lead in the rock forever. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And he shall. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see God at the resurrection, whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me. But you should say, Why persecute we him, seeing the root of the matter is found in me? Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that you may know there is a judgment. Okay, so there's one thing I noticed just as I was reading this. Where he says, My kinsfolk have failed, and my familiar friends have forgotten me. They that dwell in mine house and my maids count me for a stranger. I am an alien in their sight. It's funny. I wonder if it's because he was like so covered with boils and like so like crazily like misshapen and disfigured, that like they were like, man, I don't even know who that guy is. Like, is it even still Job? Like, maybe he was just totally, messed up. He probably just looked like a complete mess out there. So, yeah, that would actually kind of make some sense. Okay. Job responds to Bildad, exasperated. He asks him, How long will you vex my soul? Job is saddened by the continual accusations. Job continues to bewail the trouble he suffers. He is trying to still figure out why this is happening. Verse 11, He hath kindled his wrath against me, and he counteth me as one of his enemies. He speaks of his friends in verse 19, and he says, All my inward friends abhorred me, and they whom I loved are turned against me. Like, can you imagine? Like, that would be terrible. Like, you're under this like extreme tribulation and suffering for your faith that you're still keeping, and the root of the whole thing, we know from reading, once you read the whole book, is that God was showing the devil that Job would continue to praise him no matter what the devil did to him. So we know that Job was being persecuted by the devil, and yet his friends all even turned against him. And I think that was part of what the devil was trying to use against Job. You know, it'd be terrible. It'd be, you know, if you had the only thing that was left to uphold your faith was the Spirit of God, it would definitely be enough. I know that. But man, it would be terrible. It would hurt so bad to have like all your friends do that type of thing to you. In verse 21 he says, "Have pity upon me, have pity upon me, O ye my friends, for the hand of God hath touched me." And he says, "Why do you persecute me as God and are not satisfied with my flesh?" You know, because it's like, yeah, of course, you know, like they keep on pointing out all the while that, you know, Job is going through this because of sins that he has committed, you know, but it's like, you know, no man is perfect, and Job, I don't think, was ever even claiming that he was perfect. He was just claiming that he believed in God, you know, like he believed God was perfect. And he was pleading with God, "God, show me what I have done, show me why this is happening." And they basically came against him, you know, continually because he was in continual suffering, and they're trying to, like, you know, use, you know, like man's comprehension and just kind of like the natural mind to explain something of the Spirit, which, you know, it says that the things of the Spirit are only discerned by the Spirit, you know. So, and then it's pretty awesome though, because he says in verse 23 and 24, it says, turn the page, 23 and 24, cool, where it says, "Oh, that my words were now written. Oh, that they were printed in a book." His words are printed in like gazillions of books now. That's awesome. And then in 25 and 26, where he says, "For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh will I see God." That is awesome. Like, Job, I think in his suffering, obviously had a glimpse of the resurrection. Because, like, I don't even know if they even knew of the resurrection back then, unless this was imparted to him by the Spirit of God. I don't know any other way that he could have known about it. And it says, we are reaching his words to this day, or we are reading his words to this day that he wrote. And then he speaks of the return of Christ and the resurrection. And pretty darn awesome. The book of Job is really rad, because there's a lot of places where he's going through some real intense suffering, and it's almost like that suffering brings about like a super close fellowship with the Spirit of God, and God imparted to him a lot of mysterious things, and you know, I wouldn't say secret, but things that aren't really widely known about Jesus. And he has some pretty awesome things to say about Jesus. So hope you guys are doing good, and hope you guys enjoy what I'm doing. I hope that it encourages you guys to study yourselves even more, and it's really actually helping me a lot too. I'm being blessed just as much as you guys are by this, and so just thank the Lord more and more every day. Okay, see ya.